Hey guys, it's Lord of the Pogs. The Andaman Islands is an archipelago in the Bay of Bengal, 80 miles off the coast of Myanmar. One of the smallest islands in this archipelago is called North Sentinel Island, which is about 23 square miles and surrounded by coral reefs that extend about half a mile from the shore. The island is entirely forested except for a narrow sandy beach that encircles it. Beyond the shore, the island rises to 65 feet, then gradually to 400 feet at the center. This island is home to a group of indigenous people called the Sentinelese, who are extremely hostile to outsiders. They have been seen shooting arrows at approaching vessels intentionally visiting the island and passing by, as well as at aircraft flying overhead. The Indian government, which owns the island, officially recognizes their desire to be left alone. Their right to privacy is protected, and the government doesn't prosecute Sentinelese people for killing outsiders that go beyond the restricted area. Attempts to contact the Sentinelese people have been made since maritime cartographers noticed lights on the shore of North Sentinel Island in 1771. The first glimpse of the Sentinelese people was caught by a police administrator named Jeremiah Humphrey, who traveled to the island in pursuit of some escaped convicts. He spotted about a dozen naked men on the beach shooting fish with bows and arrows, and chose not to land because he didn't know how they would react. In 1880, a British naval officer named Maurice Portman led an expedition to North Sentinel Island to research the people and their customs. After 6 days, he left, kidnapping a man, a woman, and 4 children and taking them back to the city. The man and woman got sick and died after just a few days, so the children were returned to the island. One of the things Maurice Portman noted during his time on the island was the fertile soil and groves of tropical trees in an open jungle, as well as an abundance of boars, pigs, and crabs on the island, and sharks, sea turtles, and dolphins in the surrounding waters, and a visit by professional anthropologists in the 1960s found raw honey, wild fruit, an axe, fishing nets, bows, arrows, and spears, and bamboo pots and wood buckets. The Sentinelese are unique in the sense that being isolated to a single small island 30 miles from the nearest civilization and no need to build boats because all their resources are on the island, they have not had the opportunities to interact with foreigners that other tribes have. So when Portman's crew took a family away from their homes and returned the children a week later without their parents, yeah, I get why they're so viciously defensive when strange people approach their island. But they don't just attack outsiders, they also attack their own who return after having left the island. In 1899, the commissioner of the Andaman Islands, Richard Temple, recalled a case where a Sentinelese person left North Sentinel Island and lived in the city for 2 years. When the man wished to return to North Sentinel Island, he was accompanied by Richard Temple and Maurice Portman, and the Sentinelese attacked the man, who then wished to return to the city. Because of its small size and isolated location, few purposeful visits were made to the island after the beginning of the 20th century. 13 people were counted during a census in 1932. The first professional anthropologists visited the island in 1967, and in 1974, a National Geographic crew attempted to film a documentary, but left when the director was struck in the thigh by an arrow. In the 1990s, some expeditions had limited success at peaceful contact, which involved leaving coconuts as gifts, largely led by Indian anthropologist Madhumala Chattopadhyay, who was eventually able to interact with the Sentinelese in person. These expeditions were terminated by the Indian government in 1994 because there were concerns that the Sentinelese people might contract a disease they had no immunity to. Subsequent expeditions have not been so friendly. In 2006, a fishing boat drifted off course and ran aground the coral reef surrounding North Sentinel Island, and the Sentinelese attacked the fishermen on board with bows and arrows and killed them with axes. Their bodies were posted on the beach like scarecrows. The Indian Coast Guard tried to retrieve the bodies but were fought off before they were able to. In 2018, a 26-year-old missionary named John Allen Chow visited North Sentinel Island without obtaining the proper permits, with the intention of living among the Sentinelese and converting them to Christianity. On his first visit to the island, he paid local fishermen to take him within about 2,000 feet of the coast and took a canoe the rest of the way, but left before reaching the beach when the Sentinelese became hostile. On his second visit, he again failed to make it to the beach before an arrow pierced the Bible he was holding. On his third visit, he asked the fishermen to leave without him, who spotted his body on the shore the following day. Attempts to recover his body failed before it disappeared from view. The Indian government charged the fishermen, who took him beyond the restricted area and declined to press charges against the Sentinelese. If you choose to go to North Sentinel Island, my advice is don't, but if you choose to go anyway, you have to obtain the proper permits. You will be prosecuted for traveling beyond a restricted area. If the Sentinelese show themselves to be hostile, which they probably will, leave immediately. The island belongs to them, and there's no good reason for you to be there. The Indian government protects their right to defend their island by whatever means they deem necessary. And they don't press charges against the islanders for killing people. So my advice is to stay away and admire the island in pictures and on film and on magazine covers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a tip. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell down in the corner to get notifications on more videos like this one.